Anyway, so yeah, so I pushed through that and ended up we started doing dual commentaries. Me and Diddy started doing dual commentaries, and that was really fun. It was really interesting to try and figure out the technology to get that to work. And now people ask us how the stuff works, and I don't even know how a lot of the new stuff works. People have different ways of doing it now. So we did dual commentaries, and then I remember I was actually pretty nervous the first time we did a commentary with Klazart. He came out of his break mode, and we actually talked to him, and we ended up doing some triple commentaries with him, and that was really, really cool. I must admit I was a little bit fanboyish back then. Now, I mean, we're like good friends with Klazart, and we talk to him a lot, so it's not like a big deal. But I remember back then I was like, oh my god, it's Klazart! Oh my god, it's Klazart! We're talking to Klazart! We're commentating with Klazart! But yeah, and now there's just tons of commentators, though, and that's really cool to see that a lot of people have picked it up. And that's something that Diggity, especially early on, really, really pushed for. Well, not pushed for, but he really wanted to make it so that anyone could do it. And that's because that's basically what we did. We were no one. We just started doing it, and that's all there was to it. You just had to start doing it and have fun with it, and that's all there was to it. And people, we wanted to help people realize that. And so throughout the years, people have come along and started commentating and hopefully gotten some enjoyment out of it. Although something that we've seen is that for some reason, like the few of us, me and Klazart and Diggity, are pretty much the only ones that are still around. I mean, obviously, Cholera, Rise, Nuke the Stars have been doing it for a long time, and they're still around too. But there have been so many dozens of commentators that have come and gone in that amount of time. It's just really interesting. But we've kind of kept through it, and but a lot of people have at least tried their hand at it, and so that's been pretty good. But yeah, so oh yeah, one little funny thing. I remember when the first time we did that triple commentary with Klazart, I was the one that was doing the recording, or I was supposed to do the recording, and we did like this huge triple cast of like some finals, like the MSL finals or something like that. We went through it, and it was a great game, and we did really good commentary and everything, or maybe it was the semifinals, and everything went really well, and there were some syncing problems, but it was really good in general. And then we went to get the MP3 file and discovered that it had not been set to record at the very beginning. We lost like 3 hours of commentary. The very very first YouTube triple commentary was lost to the wind, to technology. And anyway, but yeah, since then we've done a lot of triple casts. We've gotten it down basically like to a science, and yeah, so it's been pretty fun all this time. And once again, just big, huge thanks to everyone that's been supportive of me this whole time. And it's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys have had a lot of fun as well. Well, anyway, I guess it's enough nostalgic rambling out of me, and time to get on to the game itself. Anyway, I just know that some people are going to complain about how it took so long to get to the game, but really that's not the point of this. But anyway, it's funny, I could not find the high-quality version of the old video, so what I actually had to do is download my own commentary from YouTube, and so I'm actually going to be commentating over my own commentary video, technically, and so it should be fun. And so here we're going to get started. Bisu versus Flash from the GomTV MSL Season 3 Round of 32. It was back when a couple years ago, obviously. It was played just before I uploaded. Oh yeah, it was played on September 13th of 2007, and I commentated a couple days later. I uploaded it on September 15th. So anyway, Flash is going to be the red Terran, of course, 1 o'clock position, and Bisu is going to be the teal Protoss player at around 3 o'clock. And this is, of course, Python, a big map back a couple years ago. I'm curious to see. I haven't really looked back at these games like this very much. Curious to see if how different the game will seem to be, because obviously the game is a constantly evolving thing. It's really interesting, actually, just regardless of my commentary, to go back and look at games from a couple years ago. I don't think TVP has really progressed a whole lot in that amount of time. It's mostly the Zerg matchups that have changed in that amount of time. But I don't know. We'll see if anything's a little bit different. You know, the game is constantly getting better and better. The bar is constantly getting higher and higher as far as what's required of micro and macro and that sort of thing. And this is actually, I believe, this is definitely pre, like, Flash coming out and killing everything. This is pre-Ultimate Weapon. This is when Flash was still pretty considered like a kind of a cheesy player. And you know, he was known for being pretty good, but he hadn't quite gained his, you know, really, really high status yet. He hadn't really accomplished anything too great just yet. And Bisu is definitely the favorite in this game. And there's a cheerful of Bisu, Nada on the left, Flash is the little one with the bow, and Uv in the top right. That's very interesting. That's the whole group, by the way. That's the group that he's in. There are those 4 players playing against each other. This is back when Uv was actually somewhat decent still, although he wasn't really on top of his game at that point. Anyway, so yeah, and I think I did most of that group back then, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so this is Python. I'm curious to see. It looks like Beast is going to scout the wrong direction, so he's going to not see Flash for a while, though. And Flash is going to go straight into... Is that a factory behind his base there? It looked like another supply depot, actually. Anyway, yeah, he's got 1 SCV off gas, so he's probably going to go... Yeah, there's that factory. And he's probably going to go 1 factory into expansion, which is, again, even 2 years later, pretty common build. It's pretty much the most... I would say probably the most common build in Terran versus Protoss. So there you go. Anyway, Bisu has got 1 gateway. He's got range upgrading as well. Probably going to see him go into a robo or something like that. Flash is scouting him the correct direction first, so he's going to get a nice good scout in there unless the Dragoon pops out at just the right moment. Is it going to pop out? No, the SCV is going to get past. Even if it had popped out a little bit earlier, it wouldn't have been able to do much. So the SCV is going to get in there and run around the entire base just to make sure there's no hidden tech buildings or anything like that, a hidden robotics facility or something along those lines. So he knows pretty much what to expect. And I think he's even just going to run his SCV out, try and get it home, and use it for some mining. But almost got picked off. I'm surprised he didn't try and pick it off along the top of the ridge, actually. That would have been pretty slick. Well, then he couldn't chase it. But anyway, so the SCV is going to run away, and Bisu is finally going to scout Flash and discover that he can't get a scout in his base because there's Marines on the ramp, and there's not really anything he can do about it.